Brandon, how can Brady and the Bucs leave Chicago tonight with a win? Break it down for us, buddy.
Good luck, Nick, finding a hole in these three keys to the game. All right, so what do they have to do tonight? Number one, they have to commit to the run. We just said it. Jenna, you just said it. They're banged up, and they're also going against a really good defense with a dangerous defensive line. So I say commit and not establish the run because it's not going to be pretty. You have to be okay on first down, only getting two yards, 3 yards. And you just got to continue to do it because what that does, it establishes your passing game, your play action package to protect Tom Brady, which is point number 2. That you have to do that. You've been doing a great job all year protecting him. There's an argument that this offensive line is the best in the business. You have this rookie right tackle, Tristan Wirfs, who is playing lights out. He's playing like an all-pro. The center, Jensen, he is nasty. He's a tone setter. He is the best in the business. And this left guard, Marpet, he is playing really well. He's one of the best. So please protect Tom Brady, but I think you do that by first committing to the run, establishing a play action, because you don't want these guys getting off tonight. Because you have Khalil Mack, who just promised to the Chicago media that there's going to be a flood of huge plays coming. And it can't be this night if you want to win this ball game. So you got to protect Tom. And the last key to victory, you gotta capitalize off of Nick Foles' mistakes. How many games have we watched Nick Foles just take the field, throw the ball into double cover, triple coverage, and the ball just bounce off a guy's shoulder pad, hit a guy's face mask, and nobody comes down with the ball? That secondary, catch the ball, please. You're going to get your opportunity. Those 3 things, if they do them well tonight, they will win this ball game.
So, Brandon, it's not so much poking holes in what you said as much as it is acknowledging what was unsaid. Because keys 1 and 2 seem like the keys a team would have if they have a limited quarterback. If they are a little concerned about how much their quarterback can push the ball down the field, how much their quarterback can stand in the pocket in the face of a pass rush and still deliver accurate on-time passes. And that is the concern for Tom Brady. Tom Brady in a clean pocket, he is probably 90% of vintage Tom Brady. When everything's going right, his arm strength's declined somewhat, but when everything's going right, he can still look like old school Tom Brady, and you saw it to the tune of 5 touchdown passes against the Chargers this past weekend. But Tom Brady, in the face of pressure, that is where we have seen age catch up with him to a massive degree over the last 4 years. We can show the numbers. 4 years ago, when he won league MVP, Tom Brady, when pressured, had the passer rating around 90. And then it dropped down, and I think we have the graphic. Then it dropped down to 70. And then it dropped down to a really bad 51. And this year it's even worse, 39.7. For context, you get a 39.8 passer rating for a spiked ball. So 39.7 is just a touch worse than if he just spiked the ball every time he got pressured. So I say all that to say this, Brandon. How much of your keys are acknowledging without wanting to say it because you're so respectful and deferential to the GOAT that the only way the Bucs offense can function is if the Bears pass rush is neutralized by running the ball in the line of scrimmage, by having the all-pro offensive lineman keep him upright, because Tom Brady, in the face of a pass rush, is going to chuck and duck, as we've seen the last few years.
You're good, buddy. You're really good. You've been doing this a very long time. You're not going to get me over there with you. I'm not joining you on that island to talk bad about the GOAT. Absolutely not. Yes, I see valid point. But here's what I would say to that graph that you just put up. As an aging football player, we don't want to be hit. I don't blame him. Look at Eli Manning, his entire career. Peyton Manning, their entire career. They feel a little pressure in the pocket. What are they going to do? They're going to slide 100% because it's about longevity. So if I'm telling Tom Brady, if you feel pressure in the pocket, please get down because you're 43 years of age, right? So no, it has nothing to do with his age, but it has everything to do about just winning the game. You're banged up. You have Mike Evans who's banged up a little bit. You have
everybody's banged up.
Your running back Fournette is banged up a little bit, who's been doing a great job.
Yep.
He's been doing a great job in the passing game. So if I am Coach Arians, what I am doing is I'm just committing to that run because it's all about that D line. I don't want to give those guys an opportunity to get that mojo going. It took them 3 weeks. This is not going to happen this week. We're not going to let Khalil Mack and what he said start a flood of huge plays. We're not doing that. Akeem Hicks. You also have Robert Quinn on the other side. They make up a third of their entire salary cap. No way. Sorry, Wiles, I don't know how you see it, but I got to protect my quarterback, and we got to win a game the hard way.
Hey, ahead, Bruce Arians is a creative coach, right, Brandon? And we always talk about guys who crush tape. And they say, oh, what plays worked before? You know what play would work? You know what play we need to break out? The old Philly special. The old Philly special is not only a strategic advantage,
Wilds,
but it is an emotional advantage that Tom Brady needs to break out this game. The wounds of Super Bowl 52 have not healed.
Let it go.
No, first of all, this is not frozen. Wow. Second of all, I will not. Here's why we should do this, Brandon. Listen. The Bears, #1 defense in the red zone. They force the most incompletions, and they allow the second fewest yards in the run. Oh, brother, what are we going to do? We're in the red zone. I know what you should do. The Philly special. Tom Brady, you need to go over the exact thing that Nick Foles did. Go over and say, hey, how about you run the Philly special? But now it's called the Tampa Bay special. Because Tom Brady in that Super Bowl, Nick, he dropped the ball from Danny Amendola. Nick Foles sat back and said, oh, all right, quarterbacks are catching balls. I can do that too. Boom, called it, and it cost us the Super Bowl. Now he's got a statue. Guy's got 1 Super Bowl ring. He's got a statue. What are we going to build? 6 statues around Foxborough? We need to do this. It will work. And I know you're saying like, oh, Wilds, da-da-da. It's a one-time thing. Wrong. Baker caught the Philly special. Nick Foles caught it again the next year. And Matt Ryan caught the Philly special. It's mandatory that we do this tonight.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The gap in age between those quarterbacks you listed and Tom Brady is bigger than the gap in age between me and Jenna. It ain't happening, Wild. Sorry, Jenna, I couldn't resist. Like the idea, the idea that you're going, the idea that you're key. When Brandon is saying, Brandon's like, listen, I don't care if it's 2nd and 8 all game. We have to protect Brady, and you're over here, mad scientist. Like, in fact, not only don't protect him, send him on a pass route. Have old man Brady creakily run down the field trying to catch the ball. Send him on a pass route. I thought you were going to say, no one would expect it because it's lunacy. But what I thought you were going to say, Wilds, and Brandon, I want to throw this to you, is the other injury the Bucs are dealing with is O.J. Howard's done for the year. Yeah. That was the one downside of their comeback win over the Chargers. Rob Gronkowski has less than 100 yards receiving, Brandon. He would have had a touchdown, but Brady overthrew him by like 15 yards. Aside from that, he hasn't had many splash plays. Do you think Gronk's lack of production is due to rust, age, and the fact that he's not what he once was, or that he was behind Evans, Godwin, O.J. Howard, Brady's new favorite target, Scotty Miller in the hierarchy, but with Godwin out, with O.J. Howard done for the year, Scotty Miller's banged up, Mike Evans is going to play, but he's banged up. Like, could Gronk have a renaissance game here, or is that past him in your opinion?
Yeah, no, I think that, when you got guys that are coming off of a season, Gronk was off last year. You go into an off season, right? It should take you, a camp to get back into that mid-season form. For Gronk, it could just be he needed more time to actually get his legs underneath him. he needs to feel that rhythm again of running down the seam and adjusting versus cover 2 and taking the middle or running down the numbers versus one high and understanding where the pressure's coming from the corner. So it's just, for him, it's just a matter of time, because if he's okay with getting hit, he can run a 5 flat 40 and still do damage on third down and in the red zone. So I expect Gronkowski to produce not only this game but also moving forward with O.J. Howard out. But I got to go back, Jenna, to the main point here, and that's protecting Tom. Yes, I highlighted this rookie right tackle in T. Worst, but you got to understand who's on the other side of him. It reminds me of walking into a game and you got Al Harris and Champ Bailey on the other side. You can kind of get lost in that, like, oh my goodness, this guy's a beast, and it can play with your head. So yes, this rookie right tackle is playing lights out right now, but you have Khalil Mack on the other side, who just 2 years ago we were saying was the second coming of Lawrence Taylor. So they need to make sure that first you get this guy comfortable, his legs underneath him, maybe start with some tight end chips, some running back chips to help him out a little bit. And from there, once we feel the game in quarter 2, maybe go into halftime, then we can start opening up a little bit more.
And Jenna, just quickly before, and I know we have more to talk about on this, on Khalil Mack, just to buttress Brandon's point, if people haven't watched the Bears this year and they're like, okay, how's Khalil Mack doing? Look at the stats. Oh, a sack and a half. He hasn't been that impactful. It's wildly misleading. He has been coming this close. He has 22 quarterback pressures, which, Jenna, is the third most in the NFL. He just hasn't broken through to get the sacks that go along with it. So he's behind Aaron Donald and one other player for most quarterback pressures. He just hasn't been finishing them off with sacks. So even though the numbers don't show it, Jenna, he's played very, very well this year, and that's why he's predicting a breakout game could be on its way.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.